I'll start off. Thought we battled for most of the game. Obviously up 2 at the half. Turnovers a little bit in the third quarter. I thought the third quarter started pretty good, but both teams were just scoring. And then we had a couple turnover stretch, but then we cut it at the end of the third. And then our defense really amped up in the fourth. I thought was pretty good. They had, I don't know what the total numbers, I think it was 23, if that's correct. But then we just couldn't make some shots there at the end. But I liked the shots we got. I liked our fight. Give credit to the Pacers for closing that at the end, but we played a pretty good game. Just didn't get the win.
What was the decision to put 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 to start lineup versus Bob and Jordan?
Just a little bit of matchup, some of their size, some of the things that we were doing defensively. Give us a different look, put a little more size on their wings. We were doing some different coverages tonight. Just wanted to use his size on the perimeter.
That third quarter, the turnovers, is that what allowed them to find themselves at the free throw line a little bit more frequently than you would like tonight?
Yeah, I thought the first 4 or 5 minutes, both teams were scoring. And we talked about that in the timeout. I was like, hey, we're scoring, but they're also scoring. And then we got into a little bit of rut offensively, and that led to some of their runouts, some of their transition threes. But then we battled back and had a little run the last 2 minutes to kind of cut it. But that little 4 or 5 minute stretch, turnovers hurt us, and then they were able to get some easy baskets and get some fouls.
You did have 6 players in double figures, to your point pregame, mentioning that void of Jordan, it's got to be by committee. What did you like about the way that it was a lot more of a balance scoring than what we've maybe been seeing?
Yeah, just our team's growing in terms of that type of stuff. Like I said before the game, we're still learning and growing. This is Malcolm's 4th game. We have, you've asked this question. We have multiple guys who can make plays and multiple guys who are ball handlers. So we want to play a system that allows guys to make decisions, make reads. I thought for the most part we did that. We just had that little bit of a stretch there in the third where the turnovers got us. For the most part, we played a pretty clean game. The turnovers were low in the first half.
With Malcolm, he plays at a much slower speed than the rest of the team at times. How do you like the change of pace he provides?
He plays slow to fast. He does a little bit of both. Like, he gets us steady, but then he's very quick getting to the rim. So he's got a good change of pace to him. But, this guy's a great player, veteran player. Seen a lot. Has really helped us in these last couple of games, and I know he's just going to keep getting better as he gets his legs underneath.
I know early, like the preseason and early in the season, you talked a little bit about wanting your team to be organized on offense as well as playing fast. What does he do with that as a passer?
Just gets us into stuff that's recognizable, stuff that we know that we can get to, that leads to comfortability for our other players. They know where their shots are going to come to. He just has control of the offense. He's played this game, I said, for a long time, but he just steadies us.
What did you like about the way Alex was pretty consistent on both ends of the floor tonight? A great double-double for him.
Activity. This is when Alex is active, protecting the rim, on the boards on both ends, running to the rim on the screens, getting the rolls. Like, his activity was high, and then obviously you see that he's switching onto their guards. I mean, how many guys can do that? Like, this is a 19-year-old who's switching onto their guards and guarding them pretty well. So we're able to see different things. He was able to do multiple things defensively tonight. That's always the biggest key for us, is his defense. And he set the tone tonight early, I thought.
There was a stretch in the fourth where there was a couple of possessions where you guys needed to get a couple of stops, and there was one where it was a complete switch amongst all guys, Kyle, Bilal, and just it seemed like you were on a string. And at the half, 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 had talked about the fact that since the road trip, the communication defensively, it's also been the players knowing that they need to take it up a notch. What did you like about the way you guys communicated defensively tonight?
Yeah, you could hear him. You could visibly hear him with my own ears out there, which is great. It's a loud crowd, like these, and their intention to try to get stops, to try to do as a collective. And I really thought in the fourth, we really did that. Like, we made them make tough shots. They were playing one-on-ones, and they got some good one-on-one players. And then we were standing them up, making them take tough ones. We were able to get to the rebound. We just didn't convert. I thought we had some good open threes that we didn't hit, but we were getting the stops in the fourth, which was good.
With Alex, what is it like trying to get that level of activity on a consistent level?
This is part of the work. This is part of the process of learning what the league is and the schedule and who you're playing and your opponent and tendencies of guys, throwing different coverages out at him. He's taking it all in. This guy's a worker. So, like, this guy's putting in the time, and he'll continue to get better with all that stuff.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
How have you felt your comfort grow with each game?
I'm getting comfortable. I'm still trying to find my rhythm, but comfortability, confidence, all that's growing. So, I'm in a good place.
This team was playing really, really fast, and you've kind of like steadied them down a little bit. Multiple players have called you a calming influence. Do you take pride in that?
For sure. I mean, that's been who I am. That's part of my identity. It's just to be a calming presence on the floor. So, that's what I do. That's my role.
BK talked about the fact that, to Bruin's point, as much as you can play slow and calm things down, you do have the ability to turn it on when necessary. What allows you to kind of pick your spots when you need to do that?
It's just experience. This is my 5th team in the league, so I played on older teams, I played on younger teams, I played on fast teams, half-court teams. I think it's just experience. You start to understand the game, you start to understand the rhythm of the game, who you're playing against, who you're playing with, and when to be aggressive and when to slow things down and stay organized and get good shots.
How can your ability to keep the team organized on offense help some of the younger players on the team?
Just show them how to manage a game. It's all about managing a game. That's what the great point guards in this league do. They learn how to manage the game, they manage the pace, they know when to push it, when to slow it down. So I've learned from them, and the young guys will learn from me.
What are the conversations you've had about that with Bub in particular been like?
Just, keeping the team organized. There's a time to push the ball and play fast, but there's a time to slow down and make sure we're organized and getting the ball in the right guy's hands and getting good shots. And he naturally does that. So, there's not a lot of conversation about that with him, but I definitely stay in his ear about it.
BK talked about the consistency of how do we take what we did on Friday against Boston and bringing it on the road, new team, new challenge. How do you feel defensively you guys were able to take that next step?
I felt like we did a good job tonight overall. That's a good team over there, Eastern Conference Finals team last year. They play hard, they play fast, they got some really good players on that end. Thought, for at least 3 quarters, I thought we played really good basketball. We played a really good defensive game and slowing them down. Last year they were one of the highest powered offenses in the league. So, we did our job for most of the game, but, for young teams like us, it's about consistency for 4 quarters. So that's what we have to get to.
Bilal got to the free throw line very effectively today. What allowed you to do that?
Just being aggressive. Shout out to Alex, who was saying real screen, so it was just easier for me to get to the rim and play with my ability to get to the rim, to be aggressive.
When you look at a matchup like a Tyrese Halliburton, what kind of things are you looking at to try to slow him down where you can find advantages defensively?
He's playing real fast, keeping on made shots. He's running the floor. I was not really my assignment was not him. I was on the 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗓, but he's just playing fast, trying to get the quickest shot as possible, and that's it.
Similar question, but about 𝗦𝗢𝗓. What did you see from him, and how are you approaching that matchup?
Yeah, he be stopping the play a lot more, trying to get to his high zones and everything. I just gotta play good defense for him. It's 1-on-1.
How do you approach how getting to the free throw line can give you a floor offensively on just the scoring that you can provide?
It just makes you feel confident, seeing the ball get to the rim, get into the rim. It's just makes me feel confident. After that, I just feel like I'm like, how to say it. After that, I just feel like I'm just confident for us to get to the rim and everything and get up. Yeah.
What were you seeing defensively whether it was you on Tyrese, you on Benedict, you on even Pascal at times throughout the game, that allows you to be able to switch through 3 different guys that play 3 different styles?
I watched a lot of film, so I knew what they were trying to get into. I was just locked in, thinking about what I watched this morning, and I knew what was coming, so it was no surprise for me.
You talked a couple of days ago about how you wanted to have you had to learn to respect the other players in the league a little bit less. Can you expand on what that meant?
Yeah, like I said, just making everything harder, even before they get the ball. So they feel you and they know that they don't want to play against you. So. Yeah.
What was that respect causing you not to do before that you're doing now?
Before that, last year, when I was really not really respecting, but being chill. I'd say they were just aggressive. They were he's a rook. I was a rook too, so they were I'm gonna get this call. So that's why they were playing every time.
That lob you had with Alex on the pick and roll situation, is that something that you wanted to try to get to a little bit more? Is it just this game afforded you the opportunity to make that work?
It's something I was trying to I was looking into because he'd be feeding me a lot, so I had to feed him too. And I saw on the action he was wide open, so I was just throw it up.